And I thought I turned that on, guess not. Send out the links. Alright. Let's change your appearance. Kind of the mood I'm feeling today, or this morning. His gear's turn. Let me see what we can do for now. Sure, we'll do something with this. Make some card art this time around. Do cheese? Sure, why not? I can always do card stuff a little bit later. Hello, hello. Let me just grab her artwork. Turn this down. Okay. I'll put her on screen just so I have more room and I can see the chat on my other screen. And let's find a decent pose for her. The small issue with her is the way her head is, but that's okay. So I can either just have her facing a particular direction, or I can draw the rare instances that we see her facing forward. But anyway, let me find a good pose for her. Hello, hello, welcome everyone. Hey, Frost. This one... Nah, I can save that one for another character. Trying to take her fin hands into account. I won't take too much time looking for a pose. Trying to pick random ones, but a lot of them are stuff that wouldn't fit her. I can work with this one. Okay. Wait, cheese is a fish. Yes, yes, she is. I don't mind characters with more detail. It just depends on my mood and depends on what I feel like doing. But right now, something simple is fine. Alright, let's draw cheese. And the question is, how am I going to do her head if I'm making her face a particular angle? Guess we'll figure that out when we cross that road. Well, there was like a slew of animals that could have been chosen for like the entire fruit cast and the BLTs, but I tried to like pick designs that I haven't normally used. Or at least animal types that I don't normally use. So let's see, if I have her eyes like this, let's see how this would look. Because she can have a particular wide head, or a semi-wide. Might have to push it a little bit more closer together. Because like she doesn't have to be directly the same anatomy as a fish for her head, but kind of playing on the whole. Her head looks flat when it's facing a particular direction. Yeah, you just gotta push yourself to draw. Because sometimes there's gonna be days where you don't have motivation, you just gotta do it. Oh yeah, I see the joke, but I just kind of went with it. Because I think at one point she was originally going to be a mouse, but then I gave that to Pomus. And so I was like, okay, well, mouse is out. And then elephant was also up to choose, but then I think I drew the genie character like recently before I was making these, and so I decided not to do that. And I already had another elephant character as well. I forget what made me choose her as a fish, honestly. I think I just said fuck it and went with it. Not too much thought put into it. Anyway, I'll try not to take too long on her. Sculpting probably just clicks with you more. Like, sometimes there are just stuff that comes easier to different people. Like, some people have it easier drawing, some people have it sculpting, some have it easier planning out a character design rather than actually drawing it. I mean, it could be a multitude of reasons, honestly. I mean, there are people that can do both. It just depends on how committed you are to learning the skills. If either of them work out for you, depending on what you're doing it for and all that. I mean, ultimately, it just depends on you. It's like, whatever reason behind why you're interested in either of them, that's on you. And what you do with the skills falls on you. Like, are you doing it for fun? Are you trying to make a profession out of it? Is it just something you're doing to pass the time? I mean, again, you got to figure it out on your own. And you definitely don't want to rely on outside influences to be motivated all the time. Okay, I need to pay attention. I'm too busy not thinking. I'm like, what am I doing? There we go. You know what? I think it's just something I need to draw and then fix it after I draw it. Because it's supposed to be at an angle, but I need to tweak it. But I do want to try to look into the whole acrylic standees thing. So, if that becomes a thing, then there's a possibility of doing that for some of the characters. But we'll see. I need to look into that, so maybe that'll be something I can try doing this weekend if I have the time. As for 3D, either that will be something I do on the side, or if I really want to look into it as a bigger thing, then I'll have to look around and do my research on it. If I were to do something 3D with Becky. At the moment, it's definitely just a thought because there are way too many people for it to be only run by AI, and we're the only ones. Like the odds of that is just nah. Obviously, it's just a joke, but that's just my thoughts. It's early for me, and I've already drank a double shot of coffee. And I've been awake since, I don't know, some random time yesterday. And I made her eyes much, much bigger than they normally would be. But that's okay. I think it's fine. Who is texting me? And why? There is Redbubble, but Redbubble I mostly just use for either posters or shirts and all that, but I don't know. I'll try to do more with Redbubble if time warrants it. And I will answer that later. Yeah, that's something you could do. Clip Studio also has 3D tools in it, so you can make 3D backgrounds in Clip Studio itself, and you can either use functions to make the line art or draw the line art yourself. If you're just making environments, it's probably not going to be that difficult, other than just making the shapes and stuff like that. And then obviously you just save them as images and use them for your background, and just change the camera angles for what you need it for. So it is doable. I've seen several artists do that. It just boils down to what you're trying to do and how you learn it. Like, let me see if I can find it. It's been a long time since it might be in a different drive. Here we go. Oh wait, no, that's a whole other thing. Oh, is that where I put everything? I'll remember that and move the models over. Yeah, it might be in a different folder. Or a different drive. But I've done like a few things in 3D here and there. Nothing crazy. What is this? Oh, that's for an old project. What is this? I don't remember doing this. I'll have to look into that. I don't remember shit about that. Ooh. God damn it. Why is it when I tell people, hey, I'm busy on this day, that's when they bother me on the day that I'm busy? I will look into that later. Anyway. Yeah, it's in a different drive. But I could probably... Let me grab it from DeviantArt because I know I posted it there. Where are you? Oh yeah, this 3D is garbage, but why not? I'll just save this and delete it later. Okay, so like this is super awful and early looking work, but yeah, like you could just do something in 3D like this, and like say I wanted to put it behind. Seriously, why the hell is she bothering me right now? Friendship. Okay, so say you want to do something with this, put it behind the character, blah blah blah. There's many options you can go about it. So if I turn down the opacity, like Let's put this on another layer. So like, you know, I could draw it myself, you know, just have like the background, like, oh, here's the building right here. You get all the little window details, stuff like that. You could change other functions. So say I did this, put this over here, turn this white, fuck around with this settings. So say I did something like, let's try this for example. Hold on, let me see if there's anything else. Yeah, let's go with this just out of pure randomness. Are you fucking? Hold on a moment. I am. Okay, yeah, I'm definitely going to answer her later. Anyway, sorry. Do that. Then do this, where we do lines. So like, see, you could turn this into line art. I mean, obviously you want to be a little bit more stylized about it, but it is an option. And then this is just me just like blowing through this without really thinking. But like, there are options to make this simpler, or even if you use like 3D, because I haven't used the 3D function in Clip Studio, I've only seen it used. But like in 3D in Clip Studio, when you use 3D, you can also turn it into line art wireframe and do it that way. So yeah, there's so much you can do that Clip Studio Paint allows you to do. It just boils down to you taking the time to learn it. So whatever you're trying to use it for, it is possible. And I've seen plenty of artists do it. Like, actually, there is another image I can show. From this artist. Let me find him real quick. Let me just find something simple. So, like, there's an artist named Insomniac Overlord, and he does the same thing. So, like, because like he makes 3D models of his environments and then throws his characters in there. So like, for example, this for example. So like, he made the environment and he has like a placeholder for one of his characters because one of his characters is a deer. So he just got like a rough model of the deer and just made the home ticking to account for the character. And then he just puts them in there. Like, let me see if I can find artwork of their character using the environment that is not too risque. Blah blah blah. Let me see if there's one more image I can use. This one should be fine. Okay, so over here, so let me just move this over here. So this is it's from another angle, but you see that bookshelf over here is the bookshelf, the same bookshelf. So, and he has like the other part of the home worked out. So yeah, it is doable. It just boils down to how you want to treat the environment. So like, you know, here's the windows over here, more like the kitchen on another angle. So yeah, it's completely doable. But yeah, you just got to put in that work. But it is 100% doable. Oh yeah, let me link Insomniac Overlord. Let me link to his Ink Bunny at least. Do. Here you guys go. So if you ever feel like checking them out, there you go. Alright, back to this. Hello everyone. Oops, wrong color. That's cute. Yeah, no worries. Or no problem. Oh, what happened there? Jimbo 8472. Thank you for subscribing. You ever see a furry character and then suddenly get reminded of them dying? No. Kinda. It's more like a pole dancing type of pose. Because she doesn't have to be in water, she just kind of floats. Oh yeah, jeez, flat chested. Doesn't need those. So, I don't exactly have to put a pole behind her, but it'd probably be useful if I did. And she doesn't have to be holding it, even though she has fins. So, it'd just be about however I go about it. Ruby, all I can say is that because you're going all over the place, it's really hard to follow what you're saying. It's like I'm trying to pay attention to what you're saying, but you're just kind of going from one thing to another. A lot of the BLT characters have like very limited personalities because they weren't designed to actually be people. So she's more of like the strategist of the group. It just kind of does the job without much interference. Nothing to be sorry about. Is just be mindful that if I'm trying to pay attention to what you're saying, um, it doesn't really help to be random, because at a certain point I just end up ignoring you if I don't know what you're talking about. One of my dogs was old and forgot to bark loud. Aw. Poor thing. He probably has a hard time, or might be having a hard time hearing or something, I don't know. That or is just being more low tone now. But yeah, Ruby, there's no issue. It's just I'm just letting you know that it's hard to follow when you're random, and you're not the only one that's done that. So don't think that or anything like that. Or at least the last person who was being random was basically a bot. So you don't want that to happen either. You don't want me to assume you're a bot. Because if you were a bot, then I would just end up blocking the account. Yeah, she's kind of like a mermaid. I was just like, mermaid, fish, screw it. It's like, I'm having fun, that's all that matters. Eh. The bands are more metaphorical than a physical object that they need to worry about. Like, it doesn't hinder her or anything. It's more of a reminder that she is more of a tool than a person by her lore. Oh my Jesus, fuck, why are you bothering me, woman? Like I said, I will answer all that later. Anyway, back to this. So if I were to include the poll from the reference, it would probably look like something like this, depending on the angle. So let's just assume that I want it about here. And if it's like going upward, don't want it to be too thick. So something like that. And then I can always cut what I don't need. But let's just use that as a placeholder. So let's assume her arm goes about here. This will probably be about here. Nope, she stays flat. I can adjust her head fin a little later. Z cup. That's like watermelon, but she's probably bigger than that. But yeah, I'll probably adjust her head fin a bit to be a little bit more lower. That girl from BNA, you'd have to be way more specific. There are many women in that show. Let's cut this down a little bit. Actually, it'd probably serve me better if I just did it this way. Add a spiral, why would I do that? I'll check real quick. Haha, funny. Alright. Can draw some of her body. Some of it's going to be put into the fish part, or mermaid part. Probably be more like this. No. The way she's dressed has to be consistent with all the others. Because they don't go outside of their base appearance. because there's a point to it. There's a reason why she's dressed the way she's dressed. Slim this down a bit. Not made, but if I was going to put more in the world, I'm sure there's some that could, but that kind of defeats the point of a mermaid. The only reason why she does it is because she's technically a demigod. So she just has the spiritual / magical ability to float. But I'm sure there's like at least one other mermaid-based character who could do that. I guess demigod wouldn't technically fit her appropriately, so like pseudo-god would probably be the official term that I would use for her. I am planning on looking into standees, like acrylic standees, so maybe I'll give that a shot if possible. And then there's still the card game stuff, so I do want to work on those more this year. So I'm gonna try to be more active about doing stuff with my characters more, and then. Because there's like the posters and stuff like that from on Redbubble that I can try doing more with, but realistically that hasn't really gone anywhere. So that's why not a lot of time has been put into it. But I don't mind giving it a putting more effort into it. I just have to find the time. And I'm gonna try to be better about my time as well. So lots I want to do this year. That's why I'm trying to crank out more things. There probably are, and if I did make some, they're probably in another folder somewhere. And if I haven't, I can always make them. It just boils down to when to actually use these characters, because I have like, again, I have like over 300 characters, and that was back when I was in high school, which would have been 20 years ago now. And I'm trying not to overwhelm people with how many characters I have, because I do want to like update their artwork and post them and stuff like that, just to have their artwork out there. But I'm trying not to like overwhelm people either, so it's kind of like a odd back and forth. It might just boil down to me just posting them, and then whenever their time comes, I'll at least have them already up and available. So I might just do that, but again, I have a lot of characters. As for their appearance in random places like the other underground and all that, I mean, it just boils down to when I use them. Like, whether or not I say yes, I have a character for that, or no, I don't have a character for that, I can always just make a character for those reasons. But saying yes or no when they're not available doesn't really help. Because if they're not up, then they're not up. So the best way I can answer this is, whether or not I have a character that fits a particular theme or idea, if I need that character and they don't already exist, I can just make them exist. Why not make multiple series? Like, series as in different stories, or series as in different characters? Because I already have multiple series. Like, I could probably bring this up if I have it. Let me see. Like, multiple series is not a problem. And this is technically not even all of them. But like, here's like logos for 5 already. So, it's already a thing. Let me see if I had something else. If I'm misunderstanding what you meant, then feel free to clarify. Because if I miss something, then go ahead and let me know. But yeah, I do a lot. Where is it here? No. I always forget where I put this. Might be in Black Circus. Nope. Damn it, why do I always forget where this is? Oh, is this it? No, that's for something else. Check this. Oh. Like, here's an old road map. God knows I've probably veered off course on this multiple times already. Oh yeah, definitely. I'm just looking at it. So yeah, this was like plans I had before. I don't even have a fucking clue if this is gonna still go by the same idea. But yeah. So, I'm only one person. I can only do so much. And trying to hand it off to other people is not exactly the best idea. Anyway, back to this. But yeah, again, if I somehow misunderstood what you were asking, feel free to let me know. That does not look right. Yeah, this needs to be lower. I probably need to tweak her lower half a bit too. So this needs to be about here. This needs to be more curved. Best advice I can tell you is just pick one and go with it. The others will come in time, but if you haven't even started one, then thinking about other series is not the best idea. Me, the problem I have is I would already start something, and then something would happen that would cause me to want to work on another thing, and so on and so forth. And I just need to balance it out better. That's my issue. And yeah, this doesn't look right. Let me tweak this more. Bring it up. There we go. Yeah, I have tribal characters and all that. I've had them for, well, decades now. But again, just boils down to whenever I get to use them or do some like short comic or something with them. I've already done artwork of a few of them here and there, but nothing critical. Or nothing major, I should say. Where do you post comics for not safe for work art, or for safe for work art? Anywhere, any art site, like whichever art site you're interested in. Like, you're not locked into trying to... Let's move her up a bit. You're not locked into a particular site. Fuck me, what? I will read that later. I guess the best question I have for you is, are you trying to make something out of this, or are you just doing this for fun? Because that's the first question I have to ask. Like, are you trying to, like, make this become a bigger thing, or is it just for fun? Because we gotta answer that question first. For fun? Oh, okay, then yeah, do whatever. That's the best way. That's the best way, because I was trying to like figure out, like, all right, are you trying to do something huge with this or whatever? But yeah, just if you're having fun, then do whatever. Okay, yeah. I mean, if it's just for fun, then just take your time and work on the stuff that you want to work on. Because there's no reason to stress out about it. But then, like, also don't just be stuck in the planning phase where you're just constantly making up or thinking of ideas, and you get to the point where you're like, oh, I'm gonna have 6 different series or whatever. Because if you're not getting anything off the ground, then I don't know, you're just gonna stress yourself out because you're gonna think to yourself, man, I have all these ideas, I've thought of all this, but I haven't done anything. And it's definitely worse if you're like planning all this for like years, but then you haven't done anything. Because if it's just planning, and you haven't pushed it, then you're just kind of wasting your ideas. I'm just saying, you want to do something, like push it. And I think I crossed your question with somebody else's statement, but yeah, that's just the initial thought of it. But like, definitely, just if you're doing it for fun, just post wherever you want. I've never seen or played Crimson Sky, so I have no idea. Life happens. Yeah, life happens. Like, definitely do what takes care of yourself first. points to the mountain of ideas. Yeah, exactly. But I'm definitely going to try to work on that this year, even if I have to go one page at a time. Which is probably for the best, because if I can put out one page, even if it's just one page a month, then it's a lot more than the 0 that I've done for the longest time. So that's going to be the goal, is to just slowly work on the stuff that I want to work on for the other series that I have. Obviously, one series will have more focus than the others for the time being, but I'm definitely gonna give them attention. Luckily, I'm not stuck in a position of like trying to figure out what I want to do. Although with World Gates and Buckle, I do need to iron out my ideas with those two a little bit more, because I plan on rebooting them for the final time now that my experience is a little bit better. And definitely want to redo Buckle because of creative changes I want to do. But yeah, I definitely want to start pushing them more. I'm restricting your social media. Unfortunately, posting my artwork online is part of the social media. So that's not exactly an option. I do want to practice these kind of things a little bit more. So I'm gonna have to work on that. Been doing research here and there for certain things that I'm gonna start pushing. And then this weekend's gonna be hella busy for me, because I gotta start getting ready for next month. Lots to do. Let's snap this a bit. No, her speech bubble will be similar to the other Creamfield characters. I mean, I guess that could be considered fun, but that's just how I view it. It's like, nah, it's the same as the others. Let's fix this fin a bit. Yes, this is Wiz Planet Act 3. I haven't 100% decided what's going on with her background. So I'll probably make adjustments to the poll or whatever else I could change it to. Because technically, if I was going to take the poll into account, then this part would be missing. Because it would be behind the poll. I should probably save. I've been drawing an hour and a half and I did not save this once. That would be a smart thing to do. Why does Becky remind you of Daffy? Probably because she was loosely referencing Looney Tunes when I drew her. Looney Tunes and DuckTales. She's like a mix of a bunch of stuff I was interested in, or still am interested in. Her main inspiration is Daria, if you've ever watched that show. She was originally from Beavis and Butthead. Take care. I'm gonna be stopping pretty soon. Okay, so assume some of the stuff we don't need. Alright, let's move her a bit. Because I have her at an angle. And probably not going to need some of this. Actually, let's just make her bigger. And then we can adjust. Oh yes, ice cap zone. Seriously, Sonic 3 and Knuckles was like peak classic Sonic. Mania is a good second. I'm bad at names. Who's that? If they've done something iconic, then that'll be much better for me to know. Oh, really? Damn. Rest in peace. She did a really good job in Home Alone and all that. That was her, right? I'm pretty sure it's the same person. Let me look her up. Pretty sure it's the same person. Yes. Okay. I was like, I'm pretty damn sure it's the same woman. Yes, she was in Home Alone. Fix her too. Yeah, that would fit her. Okay, I think we're good on this. Gotta call it for now, and we can finish this up tonight. But yeah, thank you everybody for coming. We'll finish this tonight at 9 p.m. Pacific time. And yeah, just gonna keep myself busy for the rest of the day and so on and so forth. But yeah, hope you all have a good day, and I will see you guys later, alright?